Rise and shine, gamers, and welcome back to the Apex Morning Shift, your #1 Apex Morning Show on the planet. What a week. So much drama happened, you will not believe it. Let's start with Pro League Scrims, then we'll get into the roster drama, the title also of this video. So, everybody's just cutting their grass this morning. On the second week of Season 20, there were more scrims this week, more Pro League scrims. Overall, it went pretty well. Some more testing with Legends, some more testing with Perks. Luminosity tried Catalyst instead of Caustic, but on Stormpoint. Dark Zero, Caustic Blood Bang on both maps. E8, Watson, Bloodhound, Bangalore. Optic, Caustic, Blood Bang. And Meat, dude. Meat was running Crypto, Caustic, Bang. Crypto, bro.
It's a little weird.
And speaking of crypto, Ep.6 in scrims this week, running Crypto, Horizon, and Lifeline? Huh?
What is Stuhni cooking?
Bro, I don't know what they're cooking, but they finished first with 106 points, way ahead of second place. God dang. Of course, it is scrims, so you can argue the fact that the quality of the scrims probably played into like their huge first place. So I guess we'll see how it plays out in the upcoming weekend of LGS. It's starting back this weekend, chat. No way I said chat. It's starting up this weekend, so I mean, we'll see if they actually run Crypto, Horizon, Lifeline. Now, going back to NA, the scrims this week, there was this one little bit of a concern that was shared by Dropped. He tweeted this out on the 21st. He said, in a competitive esport where we have RNG by nature involved, we have had constant repeating end zones, which makes the game lose all competitive integrity. The zone algorithm is not working, and zones repeat themselves over and over again.
Sounds like cooking to me.
We're playing with millions of dollars at stake, and this is unacceptable. Please address this at Play Apex Esports at I don't know. Okay. So basically what he was pointing out is that there was a lot of zones during scrims that were pulling south. Jayhawk actually retweeted with a picture of where every single endgame has been since Season 20 started. And if you look on Stormpoint, most of them have been south zones. They've all been near Coastal Camp and Echo HQ. It gives the teams that land near those POIs a competitive advantage, and the teams that land up north that have good POIs, it pulls all the way south, so it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Is that why Moist and Legacy are doing well? Because they're landing Echo and Coastal Camp.
All luck, no skill.
I hope they address it before this weekend, which I don't think they will. I'm telling you, dude, if this weekend most zones pull south, the pro teams are not going to be happy. But the best teams are going to be able to adapt, and the best teams will show that even if the zones are not in their advantage, they will still win, they will still thrive and prevail. Yes, Kai. Now, this week has been a roller coaster of emotions for both pro teams and the audience, the viewers, you and I. NickMercs announced that he doesn't have the time and passion to compete in Apex anymore, so he's made the decision to step down from competitive Apex, which puts an end to the tripods. And I'm not gonna lie, I wish the drama stopped there this week, because what happened next was heartbreaking. On February 19th, Drop In Gaming dropped Karma. The reason for this was unknown, which sort of caught us by surprise because they're 11th overall, doing very well, a lot better than a lot of us were expecting. No offense to them. They qualified through the last chance qualifiers. They weren't even a team that were invited, and they're top 11. Karma sort of got dropped out of the blue without any explanation. It was kind of weird. But then 3 days later, Stuhni, the anchor for Dig, tweets this out that he's getting dropped from his team, and then proceeds to announce that Dig changed their mind about Karma, picked him back up, also picked up Orioles, who previously left Dig for Sentinels. If you guys are confused, don't worry, I'm just as confused as you are.
It just shocks me that they dropped Stuhni when they're top 12, and they pick up a player who was, what, bottom 20?
None of this makes sense. So Stuhni decided to stream the next following day that he was dropped to sort of explain behind the scenes of what went down, and apparently it's their coach, Capreme, that was behind the decisions. Plot twist! So, I mean, it's all very confusing. I think it's time to make this unconfusing. By the way, for those of you who are watching the video, Kai got a little hot of the sun sitting behind the camera, and so he went to sit on the porch. Kai, I'm just gonna need something from you, okay? When I present Stuhni, I'm gonna need you to clap, okay? Yeah. Clap your cheeks. I think we've waited long enough, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome our very first guest. He's a maestro on the battlefield whose fashion sense is as lethal as his wingman skills. He also went viral in 2020 for winning an ALGS event and is now one of the best anchor players in Apex Legends. Ladies and gentlemen, I said ladies and gentlemen 16 times. Stuhni! Kai, I told you to clap. Holy shit. Stuhni, it's nice to have you.
Oh, am I supposed to say something?
Yes.
Oh. Hello, everybody. I couldn't be any more excited.
We all have a few questions for you. This past week for you, roller coaster of emotions, huh?
Yeah, no, it's been a lot. Yeah, for sure.
It sort of came out of the blue, dude. I don't think anybody was expecting it. You guys were 11th place overall, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, drops Karma, and then 3 days later, changed their mind. What happened? Can you give us a reason why all this happened?
I'm still trying to figure out what happened. Like, when I got dropped, I kind of have like an idea of what might have happened based off of what I was told. But basically, Karma was visiting his girlfriend. He wasn't playing his best. I complained about it, but in my complaint, I wasn't trying to get him dropped. I was trying to get the team to talk to him him so that we can get him out of like whatever mental state he was in, right? We spoke to him, everything went well. You know, he tried showing up again. It was still like iffy. He was still like half in, half out. So then eventually Quick messages me one day and he's like, yo, we're not meshing well with Karma, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward a little bit and we're already trying someone else out. Karma comes back from visiting his girlfriend. He's playing insane and we're all happy. We're like, you know what? We're going to keep Karma. The only problem was him being distracted, but we're all good now, right? We finished 4 days of Pro League or whatever, however many it was. And the whole conversation comes up again. You know, Caprime is pretty upset with how he's playing. Crook isn't exactly happy. And I kind of just passed the power to Crook. I'm like, yo, Crook, you're the IGL, you're the captain. Whatever you feel like you need to do, you do it. Like if you think you need to drop Karma and pick someone else up, then that's what we do. Get a message saying we dropped Karma, we're gonna look for someone else. I was like, all right, sounds good. And then I get into an argument with Caprime and Crook. I get pretty heated. I say some things, you know, I probably shouldn't have said. I got pretty like offended as well from like just a few comments here and there. And then 2 days later, I get dropped. In the call, I was dropped because things were too tense and because I got upset with them. That's according to Crook. But according to Karma, everything that happened to him that he didn't know about was happening to me. So what that made me assume was, okay, so while we were talking about dropping Karma, they were probably talking to Karma about dropping me. It was a complete mess.
Okay, wow. I mean, that sort of clears up a lot. If you don't mind me asking, what were the comments that upset you that like started that conversation, that you said stuff that you didn't mean necessarily?
It just felt like Caprime wasn't like, it just always felt like he wanted more and more and more and more. And we were giving him everything. And, you know, like I'm dealing with shit at home. You know, I'm like, I wasn't getting paid by an org, and the whole time I'm using my savings to like pay for rent. You know, my mom's sick. I'm showing up every day for scrims and then playing more afterwards and then playing more after that. I'm watching VODs by myself whenever I get the chance to like learn things. I'm also trying to like balance my physical and mental health. So like all of those things together while competing at the highest level, while trying to deal with this guy that just like, oh, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough. I just got overwhelmed and I just got pissed. And the comments that he was making basically were like, it's the same conversation over and over. You guys don't ever change. Stuhni, like, your level of gameplay is like the same as like it would have been accepted like 2 to 3 years ago. But basically it just felt like a big slap in the face, and it felt like somebody wasn't valuing the time we were putting in.
I mean, I've been keeping track. Obviously, you're a good friend of mine, and I've been keeping track with you and your team, and you guys have been doing well. You guys have been grinding. You guys have been putting in the work, you know. And so
Or they were.
too soon, way too soon. Do you think Caprime was being
A snake, a rat, an asshole?
Can you interrupt me one more fucking time?
He was being a snake.
Okay. Do you think Caprime was being unreasonable?
I think everything that happened, to be completely honest, wouldn't have happened if Caprime wasn't there.
You're saying if Caprime hadn't been there, you guys would be together and you guys would be thriving. Do you think that Caprime had anything to do with being 11th place overall? Or do you think like without him, the split, you guys would have been able to still be 11th place?
Yeah, I do actually think that. Because at the end of the day, we're the ones playing and showing up to game day, you know?
I mean, I've been seeing comments saying that, you know, the term coach is being thrown around a little bit. That sort of leads to my next question here, is what qualities define a good coach?
The thing about coaches, in Apex, I think they need to strictly be analytical. Like, it needs to be numbers and, like, feeding you information.
Making decisions about the team, that should be you guys.
Yeah, everything else should be us, because like I said, at the end of the day, we're the ones that are playing, you know, and it's not like a sport where you can set up drills for the players to get better. Anybody that's played the game, you know, at a decently high level and has a reasonable amount of time played can sit back and point out any team's mistakes.
And based on those qualities, do you think Caprime is a good coach?
I think he was a good coach to an extent. I think he did a good job of like keeping us in check in game, but I think, in my opinion, a coach should never make you like freak out. I freaked out. I feel like they should be able to keep you level-headed in and out of the game. And based off of like how Crook was talking towards the end, he definitely was not level-headed anymore. And I obviously wasn't level-headed anymore. So I think anything that wasn't just strictly like in game was failing at doing.
And whenever there's situations like this, there's obviously things that you learn from. Is there anything that you learned from this team, from this situation, as a player, individually?
Definitely. The main thing I learned, you need to learn who your friends are and who your teammates are, because there's some things I've been finding out within the last like day or two that I did not know when I hopped on stream to talk about everything. And it just made me like rethink, you know what, next time I'm put into this situation, or next time I'm surrounded by people that do specific things, like very minor details, like I'll be able to catch on to what kind of people they are. And I'd rather not be a part of that. Just be more careful, I guess.
Not trust so much?
Yeah, not trust so easily.
And then when all of this happened, what made you decide to stream everything and to explain your side of the story? And is there anything in that story that you told that you sort of kept for yourself, or that you were like, I'm not going to expose this side, or I'm not going to talk about this?
So I kind of just like, before I started, I sat here on my phone and wrote a bunch of notes so that I wouldn't miss anything. I tried to exclude my point of view. I tried to say everything as it was, and yeah, I definitely excluded a lot of things.
And I feel like we've seen a lot of drama in the past with teams like this, and a lot of them, they just they expose everything and they just put each other on blast. And I think you dealt with it very well. You were respectful with them, and you gave your point of view, you gave the facts. And I mean, obviously there is a difference in, you know, point of views. So I want to ask you this: do you think that there should be some kind of rule that prevents teams from dropping players, either in the middle of a split? Should teams stay together for a whole split? Should there be like a sort of like a trade deadline that you can like, or drop deadline that you can have?
I think it should be either half of a split or a full split, because the fact that you can actually drop a player every single week is kind of crazy. There's 6 match days between every split. You could hypothetically have 6 different players, and you could cycle through all of them in one single split. That's like just ridiculous.
Also, there's a lot of players that are signed and they make life decisions based off of their signings to a team.
Yeah,
and
actually, yeah.
I mean, some players, they don't have a 9-to-5 job, they don't have a part-time job, they fully commit to this game, and they have no security. And so 1 month they're making good money, and some players are making really good money per month, and from one day to another, change your life completely. I definitely agree with you. There definitely should be some sort of rule on that prevents. I think they should prevent the whole split. You stick together the whole split, and then after that, you make decisions. So the interview's sort of pulling to an end. I have one last question for you. Now you've had a few days to think about everything and to process everything. What are your plans for the future? I saw that you mentioned that you were looking for, on Twitter, saying that you were looking either for a Pro League spot in teams that are already established in Pro League, or top Challenger Circuit team. Do you have anybody in mind, any teams that you're trialing with that you're going to look forward to?
I've messaged a few people here and there, but it's not looking too good right now.
Any teams you want to talk about?
Nah, because it's not gonna happen. But I think the plan as of now gonna be just sit back, you know, play ranked, get my name, you know, flowing again by just ranking with people, and then waiting for the split to end. Probably waiting for regional finals, see what kind of roster changes are made, and go from there.
That's good, dude. That's good. That's good. Well, best of luck to you, Mr. Sunny. I appreciate you being our very first guest here on the Apex Morning Shift. All right. Wow, dude, that was a good interview. If you guys want to keep up with the roster swaps and stuff like that, I'd be tweeting stuff out. I'd be keeping you guys updated. Make sure you guys go follow me there. That's pretty much it that we have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, like and subscribe. If you guys don't, fucking lose my shit. New episode every Tuesday. See you guys next week. Peace.